All right, guys, here we are on our counterclaims section. We are going to be starting at what is a counterclaim. We've talked about it briefly, but here's the official definition. A counterclaim is used to present the opposite point of view of your own claim. It presents the opposite argument so that anyone reading your work knows you understand both sides of it. The question here that we're presenting is that should school be canceled for the remainder of the year or not? Over here to the right, I have some information that I want you to consider while you're doing this. Understanding that both sides of the argument makes your claim more credible and believable. Nobody wants to listen to someone who only understands one point of view. So if I just went around saying like dogs are better because dogs are better because dogs are better, nobody wants to hear that argument. But if I say things like dogs are better because they can learn tricks, because they have funnier personalities, and because I can take them more places safely, that's one side of the argument. My counterclaim would be like, cats are not as good because they tend to scratch people when they try to take them outside, they can't walk on leashes, and they can't learn tricks. These are my two sides of my claim and my counterclaim. All right, so for this question, should school be canceled for the remainder of the year? My claim is school should be canceled. Obviously, I don't think that, but I want you to, I'm sure that's the argument many of you guys would make. And so I want you to see what my counterclaim to that might be. So my counterclaim is here. Some people might argue that canceling school is going too far and that educating kids is more important than fighting a virus that isn't dangerous for too many people. So I should have been a little bit more clear in my counterclaim. I should say in-person school should be canceled, but online learning should continue. I've also got some of my thinking over here to the side. This is the opposite of what I actually believe. But many people do believe this is an opinion. This is the counterclaim because it shows the other side of the argument. I had to think carefully about what someone who does not agree with me might say and how they would respond to this question. So now it's time for you to practice. I want you to read each question, state your claim about what you believe, so your opinion on it, and then write a counterclaim using a sentence starter from my blank below. You don't have to use all of them. You have to pick one of them. Remember that counterclaims are opposite to your claim, and they think about someone who disagrees with what you might say. Pardon me. Your claim should be strong and hard to argue with. And remember, no I think, I feel, I believe statements. So our first counterclaim is that for the first question, should schools have uniforms for their students? Your claim that you are responding to, schools should or should not, your call, have uniforms for their students. Then you're going to write your opposite argument. So it would say schools should not have uniforms for their students because. So you're doing the opposite of that claim. So think about what would somebody on the opposite side of that argument say. Counterclaim 2. The question is, should gas cars be banned and only electric cars be allowed to drive? Yours would start with gas cars should or should not be banned and only electric cars should be allowed because. Then you're writing your counterclaim. So whatever your opposite argument is, and give a reason. Counterclaim 3. Should middle school students be trusted with their phones in school? Middle school students should or should not be trusted with their phones in school. And then the opposite counterclaim. And counterclaim 4. Should 16-year-olds be allowed to vote in the United States? you're starting your claim with sixth graders, yikes, 16-year-olds should or should not be allowed to vote in the United States because the counterclaim would be 16-year-olds should or should not, whatever the opposite of your argument is, be allowed to vote in the United States because. Please make sure for all of these that you've gone back and made sure that you have used words from the question to start your response. Once you've got all 4 claims and counterclaims filled in, go ahead and move on to the guided reading section.